Welcome back to the Blue Collar Homestead. Today's video we're going to go over some stuff about running an underground water line and also a underground line to run camera wires through to put cameras in with the goats and on their whole pen. That way we can keep an eye on them even when we're not here. This is one of the tools I bought from Lowe's to dig the trench with. It's about 4 inches wide and you can see it's got this goofy angle on it to dig the trench with. It was about 28 bucks, but I'll tell you what, this thing worked really good. Worked really good. It was worth the money. It was a lot easier to use this than a regular trenching shovel, because I mean, when you stick this guy in the ground like this, all you do is pull back and it rips everything out. So this works really good. If you're going to have to dig a trench, I would recommend getting this. It's a Cobalt from Lowe's. Like I said, like 28 bucks. Works really good. So without further ado, let's see some of the footage from getting that project done. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video and we'll show you how we do the first till on the garden with the four-wheeler. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll like it. Alright, today we are going to run a water line. I need it to go from, let me see, where is it? I'm going to go from this post right here. I'm going to run a water line. There's going to be a fence basically going right through here to block this off to make a separate pen for a couple bucklings we're going to get. This line's going to have to go that way. Run a line off of that for that garden, a line off of that for that garden, then we got to go all the way back to the house. So, I'm going to run that water line. I'm also going to run a camera line from the house all the way along that back into that shed, and then one on top that points at all the animal pen. So we'll see how that goes. I bought this nifty little tool from Lowe's, a little trenching spade. This thing actually works pretty good. A lot easier than I thought it would be. The trench is dug. This little guy is going to go all the way down there and run our camera line, our water line for the animals, so we don't have to have the garden hose laying out all the time. You can see, yeah, that's quite a ways under the fence. This goes over that way. So I'll put a spigot over there, another one over here for the garden. And this guy goes all the way into the goat shed. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, huh? So, it's time to start putting pipe in there. Alright, it's time to start putting this pipe down. So, the way I'm going to run this, you see there's kind of a bell right here. I'm going to run this 90 like this. That way when I put my piece on top of here that goes up to the attic with the bell facing down, you won't get any water in it. So we'll take some primer, prime that guy, prime the end of this. Let that dry for a minute. Usually dries pretty quick. And we got our blue glue. Some of that in there. A little bit on here. And you're going to want to hold this for just a minute, otherwise it has a tendency to want to pop apart on you. Piece of duct tape over the top so no dirt gets in there. That's probably good. Put some dirt back in there to hold it in place. Definitely want to make sure you use primer on this stuff. Last thing you want is a leak and get water inside of something that's got, these are for video camera wires, so you get water in that, it's not going to do well. Well, as you can see, the hardest part about running this pipe is digging the trench. It goes fairly quickly. This way I can get cameras out there to my goat shed and on their entire pen. That way if anything crazy happens, I'll be able to figure out what it was. Almost forgot. There's a tree root right here I got to get underneath. So, I'm going to cover this with duct tape. What are you guys doing? Huh? You guys helping? All right, now we're doing the water line. We are going to use 1/2-inch PEX. This stuff, if it freezes, they say it'll expand 2 to 3 times its size before it breaks. I don't really think that'll be a problem. It doesn't get that cold around here. Most of the water lines in this area are buried less than a foot deep. So, we've got our line running over there for our goat trough. And we're going to put a spigot right here to feed the garden, so we can basically eliminate dragging the garden hose out and leaving it out all summer long. So, get some stuff together here. Alright, we got a couple of these. This is what we're going to do here. Going to take this T, best tool ever for cutting packs, nice and easy. So we're going to cut this right about here. Then I'm going to take one of these little rings, slide it over, put your T in there. That guy slides right in. Take this tool here and crimp it. That's how that goes. I have yet to see one of these leak. I put a lot of this stuff in different places. Never had a problem with it. Now we're going to make this part here. Sometimes if you get the sticks, it's easier to work with because it's not all curved, but it's not bad. We're going to chop this off right about here. I'm going to get another piece about 4 feet long, roughly. Cut that right about there. Alright, then this we're going to put a 90 on. So, same thing, different fitting. Slide that little guy on there, this guy in there. Take the tool. Just like that. Same thing this side. Alright, now there's a big tree root right there. I gotta fish this thing underneath it, so I'm going to put some duct tape so I don't get the pipe full of dirt. Definitely don't want that. Right there. Just like that. We're going to put this there to hold that in place. That's where that needs to have to be. Alright. Take our tape off. And put one of these rings on the pipe. Spin that a little bit. Put that in there. Perfect. That's how we connect that. And now I have to run about another 70 or 80 feet, make this connection, and then make the connection back where the supply is going to come in. So let me get all this run and we'll get back to you. There we go. About to cover all of this up. Should solve the problem with having the hose out all summer. It should be down far enough where hopefully it don't freeze. If it does, it's PEX. It can handle it. Alright, well we got the water project all done. We'll just turn this on. And then we'll crack this guy open. And that line runs all the way down this trench. Should be buried. This will make watering the animals a lot easier. Well, looks like we got some visitors. Uh-oh. Now looks like the dog scared them off. Anyways, this is what we got. We got a hose bib out here. This one here will be for watering the garden. And when you come down this way, past the fence, this one here is just for watering the goats. Bucket's full right now, but you get the point. A lot easier than having a hose out. Camo. Ah, the sun's in the way, but let's see, we got some visitors today. A couple others, a few more down that way. Can't go to the left, the sun wants to get in the camera. Oh, there we go. That's a little better. Oh, hey, where are you going? Well, apparently they don't like my dog. Or feeding time, one of the two. Yeah, they're just going to get some water. Alright, well, you see what I got there. And that is how we till the garden. Yeah, it's a little muddy. We'll get it cleaned up. Be good as new by tomorrow.